Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vintage Dish. Hey, Shadiyah. Shadiyah is backstage waiting to come on. I'm going to visit with you guys for just a few minutes before we bring her on camera, just to say hello and give everybody time to arrive. Hey, Kim. Hey, Susan. Hey, Wendy. Thank you so much for joining. All right. Yay, it's Monday. Hey, there's my Aunt June. Hey, Aunt June. Aunt June and I have been messaging this morning. Tanya! It's me, Tanya. Hey, girl. Hey, Amy. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm so excited. My studio is a hot mess today, I'm just saying. I am about to transition it into Halloween. I just washed my crocheted blanket that I'm gonna replace my pink one that my grandmama made and put the Halloween colors on. Hi, Diane. Hey, Sarah. And I've got formerly Sarah's dolly back there in the witch hat, if you guys can see her. She is a work in progress. And I just got some teal yarn to make new hair for her. So that is a project that I'm looking forward to doing today. Once I get all my invoicing done, I got to do my work first, and then I can do some fun stuff. Wendy, first of all, thank you so much. That is so kind for you to think of me. But if you don't mind, can you send me pictures of the dolls? Because I want to make sure that they are dolls that fit within the style that I normally work with. Because I have a whole lot of doll heads. Like, this whole thing is full of doll heads, and then I have a backlog of them in my backup closet. So I've got I don't even want to tell you how many pose dolls I have right now. So send me a picture. Let me see if I can work with them. But the thought means so much to me. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to start by just telling you guys a little bit about myself and about why I decided to make this show. So first of all, my name is Amy with Amy's Rock and Pop Shop. I'm still not used to the StreamYard camera. Here we go. So I make dolls. I used to sculpt dolls 100% from scratch, out of a slab of clay. That's a lot of time and energy. Life gets in the way. And personally for me as an artist, I can, if I'm stressed out in life, it's hard for me to create. So I put all that on the back burner many, many years ago. But when you're repurposing, for me as an artist, it doesn't require quite as much energy and is so much fun. So I am handcrafting the bodies, making cone dolls, reimagining pose dolls, using vintage heads. Hi, Evan. Hey, Norma. Hey, Holly. Anyway, this all kind of came about during the pandemic when I'm at home and can't go anywhere. So I have the time, I have the energy, and I took a workshop from my friend Martina at my creative outlet to make cone dolls. And I just was doing it for fun, just for my soul. And it just really inspired me. So I just took off with it. And I ended up finding my way into the vintage community and thinking, how could I incorporate these dolls to make them even more appealing to this community? And I decided to start using vintage doll heads with the cones. So that's how all of that began. And then the reason I decided to do this show is because I am used to really being heavily engaged with my friends and fans on social media. I used to be Facebook based, and my husband is a singer, so he has a huge fan base. And many of those fans have become our friends because we are so engaging on social media. But since my business took off, I don't have the time to spend with my fans, friends, and now viewers like I would like to. So I thought, why not take a couple hours every Monday to hang out with you guys, sit and chat with you, and get to know my new friends and viewers and spend time with my well-established ones, take your questions, comments, hear about what's going on in your life, and then get to know my new viewers who are now friends on a more personal level, which I'm sure you guys would also like to do as well, because we're all in these sales and these auctions and everybody is a screen name. I mean, we know them, but do we really know them? Like, I mean, Miss Shadiyah today, she has so much going on. I cannot wait to find out more about her. She has so much going on. I'm so excited. So I want to see her. I want to hear her, and I want to know more about her. So I thought this would be a fun thing to do on a Monday to kick our week off and kind of kick it off with some positivity. You know, let's talk about life and let's just really empower each other and uplift each other. So that is what I'm doing. I did bring some treats today that I'm going to share with you. I ordered from a new donut place and they happen to have Halloween donuts. So I have this one to share with you. Lots of fun sprinkles. And I'm going to look up their name so I can do a shout out for them. And then look at this one. We've got candy corn in the house and a cream pumpkin. So I'm excited to munch on my treats and my sweets. Hey, Vicki. And then, you know, we have a little bit of a structure today and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I have a knife because I thought it would be more polite to cut my donut. That's nothing crazy. But hopefully Bobo, my little friend, will not get a hold of the knife and wreak any havoc. But anyway, we'll see how the show rolls out. Like, I want you guys to really interact with each other. I want you to interact with me. I want you to interact with my guest. And today that is Shadiyah. I want you guys to ask questions and we'll just see where the show takes us. And I'm sure it will evolve over time. Yes, Bobo. So that's it for now. You know, as we roll on, perhaps I will spend more time just chatting with you guys before I bring the guest on. But for today, let's not keep Shadiyah waiting and the wings. Let's bring her out. So Shadiyah, here we go. We're bringing you on camera. This is so exciting. Yay! Hey, girl.
Hello. I'm very well. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. I am so excited to learn more about you. And oh my gosh, aren't you gorgeous? I got to take my glasses off. Look at you. You're so funny.
I have to put my glasses on.
I love your makeup. I love your style. Oh my goodness. So,
I'm a little bit exotic.
Yeah, very exotic. Oh my goodness. So exotic. I have a surprise for you later. I'm so excited. I have to say I have a surprise for you later. So anyway, you guys, feel free to ask Shadiyah some questions, but we're going to let her kind of kick things off. And I want to know all about you, Shadiyah. I want to know who you are, what you love to do. I want to know about Shadiyah dances. I want to know about this modeling thing. Like, you model for artists, or are you an artist? Like, what is all of this about? So take it away.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Well, I am born and raised here in Maryland, in Montgomery County. So I am a local girl, native Washingtonian. It's supposed to be about, I guess, like 30 minutes or so from the White House. So it's growing up here. It's been really wonderful and very diversified, which I've really, really loved. So there's been a wonderful influence of cultures around me my entire life. And I really love that. My background on my mother's side is Sicilian and Italian.
Wow.
So yeah, my grandfather actually came from Sicily, from Palermo when he was 21 and came through Ellis Island. And on my father's side, we are English, Irish, and Scotch. So it's a little combination there. So, you know, green eyes, black hair, kind of a thing.
Perfect combination.
So it works for me. But it's, oh my gosh, I've been singing since I was a child, dancing. I started modeling, gosh, when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
So it's been like about 45 years I've been modeling.
Well, I always say,
And
how was that as being a child model, but you're still doing it, so it must have worked for you.
yeah, and it's changed. Of course, it's changed over the years. I did start out doing like fashion shows and things like that. That was really popular, especially in the 70s and 80s, going into the 90s. Malls were a big deal back then, and doing big runway shows in malls, shopping malls were a big deal. So that was a lot of fun. And then I would do fashion show production. And that was all on the side when I had corporate jobs. So I also worked for the Defense Department.
Wow,
As
you're
a
hardcore.
contractor. So I did a lot of kind of different things there. Worked with like nuclear submarines, which yeah, people, there's just so many interesting things.
Who knew
Um,
that our Shadiyah had this background? Wow, she is legit.
and let's see, and I had a band in the 90s.
Oh my goodness. What was the band's
So
name?
we were called Trick Question,
Ooh,
and we were a wedding band. And
wow.
so we did weddings and performances all over the Washington, D.C. area. And I loved that as well. We had a great time, and there were 7 members, and everybody sang.
Wow.
Everybody sang or played an instrument, so we could do everything from 1920s, Cole Porter, big band, all the way up to country and pop and rock and all the, contemporary stuff, music that was happening. So it was great. It was a wonderful adventure, and that was going into the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, and
So what so what about your is it cultural? Is it exotic? It's not like the exotic, but what do you call the style of dancing that we see pictures of you in the beautiful costumes?
So what I have been doing for over the last 20 years is what a lot of the Western audience will refer to as belly dance. It's also known as Arabic dance, Rak Sharki. In the Arabic world, it's known as Rak Sharki. And Middle Eastern dance is another term for it. Manat dance is coming to be a more cultural, appropriate term that we are using because it is incorporating, because it is North African dance. It did originate in the Middle East and North Africa. And so as we continue to do research, we are finding that you go to your source dancers, you go to this, it's more than just putting on a costume and going to a party and dancing, or dancing in a restaurant. There is hours and hours.
Okay, you're freezing up a little bit. So it's more than putting on a costume.
Yes, so it is more than putting on a costume. There's hours and hours of research that you do. There's cultural understanding. There's learning the language, or learning the translations and the transliterations of the songs that you're performing to, because just because it sounds like a great piece of music, it may not be appropriate to dance to. So you really need to know what you're doing. And the more you can learn from your source teachers, the better it's going to be. And so
there's a lot of meaning behind the dance and the music, and so there's a lot of components to learn. Yeah. Can you give us an example of like one of your favorite dances and what it means?
One of my favorite dances that I love to do is actually more of an Americanized version of it, and that is my candle tray dance. And that is where I balance a tray of lit candles on my head and perform with it, and actually also do floor work.
Oh my goodness.
So that is a lot of fun.
And is there a meaning behind that?
The dancing with candles and with lights does go back to other times, and you also will have a time where you will see a candelabra, like a three-tiered candelabra, like a chandelier, that we will be dancing, that dancers will perform with. And that actually comes, dates back to about the 1920s, and Nadia Hamdi and Badia Masabni in Egypt, who danced with them, and they would light the processions. There's something called a zephe, or a zepha, and that is a lighted procession that dancer and musicians will do, showcasing, or taking the bride from her home to the groom's house and processing through the streets. So
Wow.
there's music and dancing and singing, and everyone's joining in. And a dancer will have this lit shamadan on her head that literally is about 2.5 feet tall, and you're dripping with hot candle wax.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So we have a question from Kim. How did they come up with your pretty name, your parents?
Okay, well, there are two different pronunciations that you can go with, and Shadiyah that you use is one of them. Shadia, yes, Shadia is a very popular one that I'm used to hearing, but
Okay, because a lot of our sellers do refer to you as Shadiyah, so that's good.
Yes, so Shadia is what I normally use as the pronunciation, but I answer to both, so
Okay.
it's no issue. But Shadia is actually also a famous singer in Egypt, and yes, and an Arabic.
I'm obsessed with Egyptian culture, so that's awesome.
And it does mean female singer or songstress. And in Farsi, so in like Persian or Farsi, it also Shadi means happiness.
Wow.
So I'm a happy singer.
Yes, it was your destiny, apparently.
So I've loved it, and it was a way to also incorporate both my love of my dance, my singing, um, and just the various cultures around the world that I've been exposed to, my whole life, and that I just, my home is a big reflection of that. It's Victorian, it's Middle Eastern, it's Asian, it's a little bit of everything.
Wow. So where can we go to see your performances? Do you have a YouTube channel, or where can we see videos of your performances?
I do. I do have a YouTube channel, and it's Shadia Dances of Maryland.
Okay, I will
And
add that to the description post show, you guys.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, you send it to me.
Yeah, I haven't uploaded things in a couple of years. I've kind of behind in some things, and I'm kind of slowing down a little bit. I've transitioned out of like dancing, performing in restaurants, but I have had such a blessed career. I really have to say it's been incredible. I've been so lucky to work with incredible live musicians. Here in the DC area, I've been able to perform around the country. I've performed at the Kennedy Center. I've performed in front of dignitaries and royalty.
Wow.
But 1-year-old birthday parties to 100-year-old birthday parties, festivals, things like that. But I would say my favorite performances that I do are with seniors.
Aww.
And at nursing homes and senior centers.
Oh, that has to be so fun. So much joy.
There is so much joy, and nothing can put a price tag on the joy that you see when you can bring that happiness to someone's face.
Yes.
And you see them, you see that connection that you're getting with them, or someone that might be in a wheelchair or using a walker, and they really don't get up that much, but all of a sudden that day, the music, they hear it and it touches them, and then they stand up and they want to dance with you, or they start clapping their hands. And that feeling just so touches my heart. And there's absolutely no way to put a price tag on that. It's priceless to me.
That's beautiful. And Oh my gosh, yes. Spreading joy is something I want to be kind of an ongoing theme within this show, and I want to encourage all of our viewers to um, you know, I mean every day spread joy, but at least try to focus on one act of spreading joy, either if it's creating joy for yourself or it's creating joy for others. It's just so important in life because life is a challenge. Even when we're not going through a pandemic, it's challenging. And so if you can be a light in someone else's darkness, or if you can learn to be a light in your own darkness and pull yourself out of it, I think it's very crucial to our survival as human beings. So we'll touch more on that later, but I am also curious about your modeling. Are you doing like virtual life drawing modeling? What is this that I've seen on your Instagram?
Yes, so what I do is when the pandemic began, I had already been working modeling for artists in art classes and portrait groups for a really long time. And I do portrait and costume modeling. And that's one of the things that the artists, once they have learned basically how to do the figure work and the figure without clothes, eye them in sort of the next step. So they can learn, how the draping and the fabric and things like that work on the costumes. So, and because I have a vast array of costumes and cultural costumes from around the world from my dancing, it provides an added element for the artist to be inspired.
Oh yeah.
Or we look at famous works of art, and I recreate those works of art as well in my costuming or draw inspiration
Wow.
from them. So the pandemic hit, and it became quite a challenge because, of course, everything was in person. So, like everyone else, pretty much everybody, lost their jobs. I actually lost 3 jobs in a week with the shutdown. And in that same week, I lost my mom.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So it was quite an interesting time to go into lockdown
Yeah.
alone with that. And like everybody else, it's been a very, very challenging 18 months. There's no question. So,
Well, considering that, I want to touch on another segment of the show that I would like to have each week, and that is, talking about core values and touching on this subject with you going into quarantine and losing your jobs, losing your mom. Like, what core values did you find, very powerful for you and your survival of all of this?
Oh, and that's a good one because it has been a struggle, in all honesty, and I'm not the only one. Everybody's had their own challenges that they've been facing. Um, it's been a very difficult time. There's been a lot of loss. There's been a lot of emotions that have been running very high. There's been sadness and happiness, and just we are all in unprecedented times, and we're all in a time that none of us have lived through before. We're all charting new territory right
Mm-hmm.
now. And for me, kindness, compassion, um, understanding, especially kindness, is very much a core value for me, because you do not know what the other person is going through. And this has actually been something that I've been passionate about my whole life.
Same.
Is kindness, because you don't know what someone else is going through. And simply a smile
Mm-hmm.
can make someone's day when they've had a bad day. Simply saying, hello, with a smile.
Or an emoji if we're virtual.
Or an emoji if we're going virtual. Absolutely. Opening the door for someone, letting someone go first when you're walking into a building. It doesn't matter who they are. Um, just being kind. It's free.
Yes,
It's free, and I think we need more of that in this world. And
we do.
it's so easy to do, and you can do it from your heart. And I think we should really celebrate all of the strengths that we have together versus our differences,
Yes,
because that's what makes a stronger community, a stronger world, allows us to move forward. And, I think celebrating our diversity is also something that is very special to me, because there is so much goodness and so much beauty in cultures all over the world. And we are very privileged in the US and in the Western world. We don't suffer from a lot of the things that other people in other countries do suffer from. And if I guess growing up here in the DC area with all the embassies and basically having our local news be world news, I've been, looking at world issues and things like that pretty much my entire life.
hmm
So it lends to a broader perspective of what is going on, where people come from, the struggles they've endured. I'm a granddaughter of immigrants, um, you know, Native Americans and our first peoples were here, and we are all um, we're all here just in this time and place as a gift.
yes,
We're just stewards right now of what is happening in our world. And I think we have a responsibility and um, an obligation to do the best that we can do, and to be kind, to welcome the stranger, um, to give of ourselves, give of our talents, be our true selves, and also honor those talents and gifts that are in other people.
yes,
It's not to get like too philosophical with it, but within that, you can find your inner strength. And at times it's very, very difficult. I
yes.
mean,
And it does
there's no
energize, it energizes you when you bring joy to someone else. It will make you feel
yeah,
uplifted and happy. So
it
if you just
really does.
practice a little kindness, a little gesture. I know for me, throughout my life, spreading joy to others has always been just who I am. And now it's happening through my dolls, or, through my lives, through
You're
my
gorgeous, doll.
clothes, through my makeup, like whatever little detail I have that makes someone smile, that makes me so happy. But when people are unkind or do something that you're like, oh my gosh, throughout my life, I've always tried to stop and think and try to, okay, why did they act that way? Did something happen to them that caused this? Like, I like to try and find out. I like to try to, reach out to the person and find out, what's going on. Why did you feel this way? And a lot of times things can be worked out and things can be turned around, and a lot of times a little kindness and just reaching out to someone versus then attacking them back. Like, there's all kinds of craziness that goes on the internet. But sometimes just a little kindness in response to unkindness can be very powerful. So I think it's important for us to all just kind of pause and think, okay, let's be who we really are. Let's not get caught up in the negativity. Let's try and respond to a negative with a positive. And I just think, it's just a much more powerful response.
And it's challenging to do that.
It is.
It can be challenging at times in the face of a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
And I think people like you and I as well, and I know a lot of our viewers that are out there, being artists and having this artistic ability, we're all very sensitive.
Yes.
We're very sensitive souls. And we take things very personally. You know, we can't really help but take it personally. And it does help us become stronger when we overcome that adversity. And certainly, I know there have been a multitude of things in my life that I have overcome. And, you know, I'm still working on overcoming a lot of those things as well.
Aren't
But
we
at the
all?
same we are. But at the same time, I like to say that my goal of, you know, coming through every day is 100% so far.
Good. That's awesome. So I hope that you got, yeah, Amy's like, sensitive, who, me? Um, we'll get to your question in a moment, Robin. So, yeah, I would love to. I'm going to set up a special email for the vintage dish, and I'll put it in the description later today. And every week, I would love to pay that kindness back by rewarding one of you guys for sharing something that you have done during the week that was an act of kindness, whether it was a kindness to yourself or to someone else, because we do have to create our own joy and write our own scripts no matter what we're going through in our lives. We have to keep our heads above this water and turn it around. So I'm going to invite you guys to email me each week with your creating joy, spreading kindness, or whatever core value we are talking about. It can be any of those things. And then I'm going to have a little random system that I'm going to choose one of you, and I'm going to give you a little reward of kindness back and share some of the emails as well on the next episode. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah. So, and it will make me happy to create something special to give you guys. So that's something I would like to try out and incorporate. And hopefully it will make everyone feel happy, because they'll be like, oh, I want to do something kind. And then they do it. And then you're going to feel happy. And it just empowers us. And I think it's a great way to kick off our week, you know, talking about these things. And yeah, so we'll lighten it up a little bit. And because some of you I know might be a little, emotions and things are just too touchy-feely for me. So we will address Robin's question asking if either of us have any tattoos and if we will share the meaning behind them. I personally do not have any tattoos. I'm just not the tattoo kind. I might get a temporary tattoo now and then of a unicorn, but I prefer my art to not be permanent on my body, I will say. What about you, Shadiyah?
I do not have any tattoos. I have done, when I'm doing my Bollywood performances, if I am doing, say, a wedding or a Sangeet, which is a henna party, I have had my hands done in the traditional mehendi. But outside of that, no tattoos.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any other questions for Shadiyah, be sure to type them in and we'll get to as many as we can. So I am curious, with all of this wonderful background that you have, so diverse and so creative and serious and fun and, oh my gosh, talented, what brought you to this vintage live selling community?
The pandemic. Really, I have been, let me see, I've honestly been like on eBay and thrifting and selling and things like that since, well, I started on eBay in like 2003. But I've been collecting and sourcing and thrifting and selling and everything since probably I got my driver's license. Because I can honestly remember, as soon as I got my driving permit, I drove up to this beautiful, beautiful town called Ellicott City. And a lot of viewers may have heard of it, especially if you're here on the East Coast. And it was just felt like home to me. and there's antique stores and all sorts of wonderful places there to shop. And that's actually also how I kind of furnished my home, was at
Wow.
auctions and antique shows and things like that. So I've been doing this a really long time. Um, and I love it. And then during the pandemic, all of a sudden I started watching more, internet like a lot of people did. And I found the ISN network, which I was so excited about on Instagram. I found YouTubers. I found you. I found Jocelyn, the crazy lamp lady, whom I follow. And then sort of it's all just kind of cascaded.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, felt this little special connection with you, just because
Aww.
I have loved dolls my whole life, and to see the beauty that you create with them is just so inspiring. And especially
Oh,
the
thank
pose
you.
dolls, because I love pose dolls, and I had them since I was a child. I've got my birthdays and Christmas, I would get like Madame Alexander dolls. My mom would get me, or the F&B dolls would come in. And they would be gifts, and I still have a lot of those, which is really kind of fun. I don't have a big place to display really any of them right now, but and then dolls from around the world. I've always loved to collect dolls from around the world and the different cultures in their traditional costuming. So
Love it.
I've got several boxes of them, and they're not out right now, but
One day you'll have an entire few rooms displayed, wall-to-wall shelves.
A big glass case would be really nice to kind of have everything out, but I'm more limited on space now, so we'll have to see how that happens. But
well, Sarah is asking what type of vintage you like to collect, and I also would like to ask if you have a special item, like one item that is really special to you that is vintage, or if you have something that you acquired recently that is like your favorite thing that you recently acquired. So
let's see. Well, I actually set up this little display behind me as some of my favorites that I have. So I might adjust
please share, show and tell
a little bit here. One of the things, of course, I've got a couple of pose dolls that are back here. One that I found actually completely in the case, and I thought of you, especially when I found
love her.
And she's got the red hair. She's so cool. So I found her. Of course, I have my Amy's Rock and Pop Shop Christmas
the
one.
Santa with the little vintage tinsel elf. I love him. Yes,
I love him. So
my babies. I get to visit my babies.
You're one of your babies. I can't wait to put him in my Christmas display.
Yay.
So let's see. I have. I'm a big fan of Tango glass and Czech glass. So I love this. I found this parrot and the Lutz glass. I found this parrot about a year and a half ago.
That's gorgeous.
This is in the orange, and then I have red candlesticks that I found as well. So I have, as I crash into things here. But I've got genie bottles. I've got Murano. Oh my gosh, I've got Fenton. There's a little bit, I collect Amari. Amari plates and china are probably one of my favorite things. Glass is definitely a favorite. But I will say my favorite thing from this week is that I am a brand new great auntie. And my nephew and his wife welcomed a gorgeous little baby girl into the world on Monday night.
Congratulations.
So that has made our family and our entire week. So that is the best thing that has happened to us all week.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Not for sale.
Yeah, not for sale. I'll take that. I mean, I will take that as your favorite thing. That is so special. I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm an aunt, so I know how special it is. And my Aunt June was very instrumental in my life. So aunts are very, very precious. I can't imagine being a great aunt, but one day I might be too.
Yeah, great aunt. And this is their second. So sweet little Sora now has an older brother, Ori. And so he's going to be the best big brother ever. So I can't wait to go
Wow.
out there and meet them. They're in Seattle. So, and I'm here in Maryland. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get there, but um, thank goodness for social media and the
Right,
internet.
right. Well, Robin is asking, what other vintage sellers do you enjoy following?
Oh gosh. Certainly Michael and the Cult of Vintage, Michael Todd. He's just delightful. At first 30 seconds of any video, and I'm in hysterics. So he makes
Right.
my morning. Um, let's see here. Oh gosh, there's so many. Misty, and we've got the Vintage Bombshell. I love Selena. Um, uh, Lady Mary Beth, I follow as well for classic home decor. So there's actually that George the Antique Nomad,
So
Mid-Mod
many that I need to
Marian.
get to know because I'm new to this YouTube
And it was
community.
fun. Yeah, last night in Mid-Mod Marian, when she had her candlestick, here's mine.
Yay, look at that.
And it does, and it glows so beautifully, I have to say.
Oh, I love it.
So I laughed when she had hers up for sale.
That's so cool. Time for treasure. Am I the only one who cuts the Amy tags off my dolls? Is this wrong? Well, I have no problem with you cutting the tags off. In fact, because I've kind of for a while was keeping track with how many dolls I had made by how many tags I go through. But I'm thinking, gosh, wouldn't it be fun if I did a thing like the old box top prizes where you guys save all of your tags and turn them in, and then you get a free doll after so many. Like I had those kinds of ideas so that we could maybe like recycle them and reuse them. But so many people love keeping the tags on. So I don't know. You guys can weigh in on that. I personally do not mind if you cut your tags off. I put my little sticker inside the cone now too, so it's branded that way. But yeah, what do you guys think about having some sort of reward program for my repeat buyers? I'll throw that out there. Let's see.
Try to see, look at some of the comments here about my glasses.
Isn't that sweet, Pat? She truly is. She truly is.
Oh, Pat, thank you so much, dear. You're very kind.
Well, I was going to share a little. My vintage was mainly toys prior to coming into this community, and now I'm, working on collecting some other more sophisticated items. But I've always loved vintage in the sense of the 60s and 70s, and now I'm moving into the MCM and all of that fun stuff. But this is a little item that is really special to me. It is. He's like a little Smurf, but he's yellow. So I don't even know what this was about, but whether or not this memory is accurate, I do not know for sure. But my memory of him is, and let me see what it says on the bottom. He's 1978 Empire, made in Hong Kong. So Christmases were always so special at my grandmama's house. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, everybody was there. And this little guy was on a Christmas present, like in a bow on the Christmas present. And that's my memory. And I still have him from 1978. And it was so special, like those little details that my aunts, my mom, my grandmama, like all of those fun little magical things, like they have stuck with me through my whole life. And then I try to create little magical things like that for other people because it's some tiny little thing like this still brings me joy today. So
I agree.
Those tiny little acts of kindness and happiness are so powerful that they can still make me smile today. So that's my little share from my collection. And then I had a lot of favorite finds. I went to the Long Beach Antique Market this week, but I'll say I picked this one for my favorite. So she's a sweet little angel. One of her wings came off, so I will repair it. But she is stamped Japan. But look at this. It's like chenille with rainbow glitter. And then she has a porcelain or ceramic angel head. And isn't she so sweet and unique?
Fabulous.
I don't know if I'm keeping her or selling her. I feel really drawn to her. I might keep her for a while at least. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's inspiring because it's something that I could make. Maybe Michael and I will make it on our little crafting show that we're going to do once a month.
So and I love your first crafting one. That was fabulous with the two of you.
Wasn't that fun?
Was so much fun.
I'm like, okay, I've never done a soap bottle doll before. Like, how are we going to construct this? Well, we figured it out. It was fun. We've both just been so busy that we haven't had the time. It's a Holt Howard angel. Oh, well, see, I picked the good stuff and I don't even know what I'm doing. So, wow, cool. Well, then maybe, I don't know. I might keep her. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Amy. See, I'm learning every day. I'm constantly learning. Miss Stam Jewelry, you had me at glitter. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
Crafting is so much fun. I can't wait. I have a ton of things to get through. I want to do a whole bunch of wreaths if I can for the holidays to get those sold. That's one thing the pandemic has actually helped me do is like sell more on Facebook. And, it started out basically as replacement income,
right?
Because being in the performing arts, there really wasn't a whole lot out there for us. Obviously, during the pandemic, we were pretty much all unemployed. So doing virtual, online modeling sessions, doing the thrifting, getting up on Facebook Marketplace. And I just started my selling IG channel, which is Vintage Global Treasures.
Okay, so that's what your secondary account is.
Yes, that's my secondary account. So I've got sort of my dance and modeling one, and then I've got the selling one. So I'm going to be doing a lot more on there, which I'm really excited about.
Well, gosh, I'm excited too. Maybe we can even do a live sale together.
Ooh, I would be honored. Wow.
Yay! Okay, well, let's get it booked. So cool. We'll set a date. That way you will have, the motivation to work towards getting all those wreaths done.
Ooh, that would be neat. Thank you.
Yeah. So post show, you guys, I will post all of Shadiyah's links in the description of the video so that you guys can go and follow her on her personal page, her dancing page, and then also on her seller's page, because I bet these wreaths are going to be absolutely stunning.
Oh, I hope so. I want to do a lot of, some that are going to be vintage, some that'll be a little more contemporary, various styles as well, because I have so many styles that I love. It's really tough. I always said, one day I wanted to have like a huge house and every room was going to be like from a different country. It's going to be like a different style of somewhere, because it's hard to focus on just one particular style that you love.
Yes, I agree.
Like a little bit of everything, something for everybody if I can.
Shadiyah, is your necklace a cross? Pat is asking.
Yes, my necklace is a cross. Yes, I have worn a cross, either this one or any other kind of cross, pretty much my entire life. I am Roman Catholic, and so yeah, I really never take it off. Take it off to clean in. That's it.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay, you guys, this is Bobo. He, okay. Bobo showed up on one of my live shows recently and everyone loved him. So I had to negotiate his contracts. That's why we had to postpone last week because he wanted to be a regular on the vintage dish. But he is very much in demand, and he is very demanding. So, Bobo, what are you trying to do? I don't like the fact that you have this knife. Oh, he's wanting some of the
He
donut.
wants a donut.
Okay, Bobo, put the knife down. Just come on. I'll let you have the donut. Let me take the knife. No, stop that. Okay, what? Okay. Shadiyah, Bobo thinks you're very pretty, first of all.
Oh, Bobo, you are very handsome. Yes.
And he has something for you. He has a special gift that
Oh,
well, I made the gift, but he wants to give it to you, and we are giving this to you as a thank you for being a guest on our show. So, okay,
completely
Bobo,
not necessary, but thank you.
you need to be very careful with this.
Okay. No! You finished her.
So this is a gift,
Oh, she's
and
gorgeous.
I made her special for you.
Bobo, thank you.
And
Oh.
okay, now you need to go and eat the donut, okay? I appreciate you so much, all of your support, everything you do for us and ISN and our sales. I mean, you're just such a light. And so thank you. And I hope that you will enjoy your special little custom doll that I made for you.
Oh, she is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to have her in my home and love her and adopt
Thank
her.
you. Well, I will get her sent out to you this week. I have my new fulfillment center now handling my orders so that I can have more time to work on more involved creations and also, get your things shipped a little faster. I'll be shipping now twice a week instead of once. So hopefully that will, get things in your homes faster and more efficiently.
So excited for you that you've gotten some additional assistance with
Thank
that
you.
because what you do on a daily basis is truly epic.
Thank you.
I mean,
There's not
it
enough days in the
really is.
week. Honestly, I'm like, wait, it's already Friday again.
Yes, enough hours in the day, enough days in the week.
Yeah. And sadly, my
Absolutely.
husband's store has kind of fallen to the wayside because my business has become, front and center because it has been so, so important to us and supporting our families. And, for that, I thank all of my viewers and all of my supporters for, making it a success because it wouldn't be a success without you. Hey, Jen. So yeah, during the pandemic, it started as just a survival, technique to just focus on creating so that I didn't go into a dark place with my husband having advanced lung disease. Getting COVID would be a death sentence for him. Even with the vaccine, now that people are having breakthrough cases, his doctor said he cannot get COVID. So I'm having to really, before the vaccine, it was complete isolation. I only went out to drop things off at the dock outside the post office. I didn't go to any stores. I didn't do anything. So having the interaction virtually with this community was a huge part of me being able, I don't want to get upset, me being able to, emotionally survive this and then financially survive it when it became a business. But I happened upon the live sales myself when I came across the ISN live sales and some of the other live sellers groups, and watching those sales while I was crafting, it gave me a sense of socialization. Of course, I have my husband here, but he's not sitting in my room while I'm crafting and hanging out with me in that way. So I felt like I wasn't alone. I felt like I'm with people. and then it was just important. So I think if it did that for me, it had to do that and more for other people. And I think it still does. But even this right here today, I don't get to go and hang out with my friends or go to lunch with my friends. I had about 3 weeks where we were told it was safe to do that. But now we know that it's not for my husband's situation. So this right here is my socialization. And because you guys are so engaging and so wonderful and it's so much fun, I don't really feel the void. Like I feel like I'm okay. I'm connected with all of you. And I just can't thank you guys enough. So I'm hoping to be able to give back to all of you by having this weekly show and bringing some of you on camera so that we can get to know you on a more personal level. So we do have an even stronger connection with each other. I think it's just so important. I know it's really important to me. So, thank you guys all for being here. And thank you, Shadiyah, as well. I am looking forward to dropping my cone doll crafting tutorial. I have filmed it. I just have to do all the boring editing, and it'll be, rough and raw. It's not going to be some grand professional production because I'm just, putting it out there. I'm just doing my thing. So I'm sure over time I'll get even more fancy. But for now, it's just going to be me crafting and showing you guys how to do it. And, maybe I'll get it done today. We'll see. But yeah, so you guys, thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for all your inspiration. And you've definitely been a highlight and just such a positive influence in my life that's brought happiness, because it has for me personally as well. It's been, a struggle and a really dark time that I've been going through in the last 18 months. And so, you have been one of those bright lights for me. And I know it's got to be that way for other people too. And I just want to thank you for sharing all your gifts with us.
Thank
because
you.
it means more than, it's that undefined joy that you can bring. And it's, just the kindness in your voice, it's your smile, it's, the beautiful bows in your hair, all the time, and little fun things like Bobo, but just, your creativity is just so beautiful, and you're just such a kind soul. And
thank you.
It meant the world to me when you reached out and asked me to, be on your show today. And I'm very grateful to you. And
it meant so much that you said yes.
Community. I've fallen in love with this community, and there's so many beautiful people and beautiful souls that are in the community. And even if I'm not purchasing, like you say, in like all the videos, it's just come and enjoy. Just spend time and relax. Be with other people. I can't wait to actually look back and see everything in the chat, because without my glasses, I haven't been able to see a lot. So.
Same. I will go back through, and I think we have to kind of watch the video for the chat to appear. I've learned on YouTube, so we can skim through that way while drag the little thing across the video, and then the chat will come, and then we can go back and make sure that we address your comments. But knowing that I brought you this joy and bring you this joy, like knowing that it helps me to keep doing it, because I present this positive experience for everyone, but I am a human being. I have challenges, I have darkness, I have depression, I have things just like everyone else. And when sometimes I might feel like, this is just, everything is just too much. And I might feel like I don't want to keep, I don't want to get out of bed or whatever. But I know I have to show up because I am bringing joy, and that motivates me, and that inspires me, and that empowers me to keep pushing through the difficult times. So it's very meaningful to me. So thank you all. And yes, we definitely do. So with that said, yes, we have to have courage, definitely. So next week, I think we have Molly. You guys, we have Molly coming. Molly is one of my friends and followers. Started as a fan of my husband's and then became a friend to us both. She also goes by the name of Mert. Her and her husband, Molly and Kurt. She tried to coin a name for me and my husband, but I wasn't having it. I would love for you guys to meet Molly. She is the infamous high bidder. She outbids everyone. And that's another thing. Like, I want everyone to get to know everyone so that no one feels any kind of way about people when they buy all my dolls. And just like Shadiyah said, you do not need to be buying stuff when you come to our live sales. You don't have to buy our dolls. I mean, buy my dolls. You don't have to, pay these high prices for my dolls and all the craziness that goes on. I just want you to come and find the joy. So if you love seeing my creations and if that makes you happy, let's see what Amy made this week. Don't ever feel obligated that you need to buy the dolls. And with that being said, by handing my shipping off, that will hopefully enable me to make a lot more dolls so that I can have some static sales. And then you guys have the opportunity to get them at the base prices and things like that. But the auctions have been instrumental in helping me to financially get through this time where my husband and I cannot work outside of the home. So I greatly appreciate those of you also who are buying and bidding. That truly means a lot as well. Okay, guys. Well, I think I have to let Bobo go lie down because he has a huge tummy ache, he's telling me. He ate so much. Okay. It's okay. I think he ate so much of that donut. And I want to have a bite of it before. I mean, those candy corns are calling to me.
Definitely.
So the time difference, oh no. Well, I'm trying to have sales at different times. Like on Wednesdays, Sarah at the Traveling Button and we have our Wednesday afternoon sale now, Wicked Good Vintage, here on YouTube. So I'm trying to have some sales at different times. And then, of course, this show, The Vintage Dish, can be rewatched. You don't have to watch it live. So if you're at work when we're doing it, you can watch it later when you get home. And if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I am so close to getting my 1,000 subscribers. And that is a milestone. So then I can start posting pictures and announcements and things on YouTube. So I would greatly appreciate your support in that way.
Everybody.
And give the video a thumbs up. That's right. All of that stuff is important to me as a creator, which is, it's another job. It's another way that I can help support my family working from home, creating content. So I appreciate. Yeah, he does like the dodos. Bobo likes the dodos. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Everyone have a wonderful week. Be sure to check back in the description of the video shortly. I am going to add all of Shadiyah's links and the new email I will have set up for the Vintage Dish. So send in your acts of kindness, whether it's kindness to someone else, kindness to yourself, creating joy, practicing one of the core values we speak of. Send them in and you'll have a chance to win a free gift from me. And then a chance for me to share some of it in our next show. So Shadiyah, thank you so much. Thank you for all your kindness and sharing about yourself and all of your talents and passions. It was truly an honor.
Well, it was an honor to be here, and thank you, Amy, for everything. It's been just a wonderful time with you today, and thank you to all the viewers who tuned in. We really appreciate all the support. It means the world. So I hope everybody has a blessed week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.